Hey guys, welcome to the Frack and Friend Show. This is episode 4. My name is Frack.
And my name is Leah.
And this is the Frack and Friend Show, like I just said. So we're going to be talking about quite a few different things today. First of all, how's it going, Leah? How's everything going?
It's good. It's good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. The schedule is still very busy. Lots of places, lots of events are happening very, very soon. Just found out I'm probably going to be in New York for a few days in May, which is really fun. I've been in New York a few times, about I think 4 or 5 times in the last 6 years, and it is always interesting.
Yes. Yeah, I've been there one time, and it was our high school choir trip, and I'll never forget it. It was a great time, but I'm sure the more that you go there, the more that you see all the landmarks and are able to.
Boring.
How can New York get boring?
You know, once you go there and you see the landmarks, you go to some of the good spots for food and everything. I don't know, like, I'll tell you this. The last time I went there twice. The first time was like 8 days, and then I think maybe like less than a month later, I was back there for another like 7 days. But I had already seen like all the Broadway shows. I had seen everything. So there was nothing to really do besides walk around and eat, which I'm okay with. But like for me, whenever I go to places, and I tell people this all the time, but I don't ever go and stay in a hotel. It's always an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I'm never at the Airbnb until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I sleep 2, 3, maybe 4 hours if I'm lucky. And then I'm back at it again, you know. And
so are you at an Airbnb this time?
So I haven't booked the Airbnb because I'm still deciding out of like 400 of them, which one to get. But especially for New York, my thing is always find an Airbnb that's right across from the train station, because I don't use taxis. I don't use cabs, but I love going by the train or the bus. So that is like what I'm looking or seeking out for in all these Airbnbs. And there's a couple that are like, oh yeah, we're 1 block. And I'm like, but are you across the street?
Yeah.
I want to walk out and I want to just go to Manhattan, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But have you seen the movie Serendipity?
Why does that sound so familiar?
It's a John Cusack film.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like my favorite holiday movie ever. But like, what hotel do they stay at? I can't even remember what hotel
was
they
it the
stay
Chelsea?
at. No, what's the other like huge? Man, I watch this all the time. I should know it, but I'm just like blocking it out. It's like this hotel in New York that they go stay at, and they like ride the elevator to go see like if they hit whatever floor it is. And yeah, that's like one of my favorite movies. So I always think of that when I think of New York.
New York is beautiful and messy, but like you know, for me, I would always go, and this time I do have a couple shows I want to go see. I want to actually be able to check out Wicked. I want to see Beetlejuice. I want to go see Come From Away.
That's the one I want to see so bad. Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite. One of my favorite. Besides Weekend at Bernie's, that's like my favorite, like 80s/90s. I don't know. It came out like kind of on the borderline. I think.
It did. And you know, the guy who plays Beetlejuice is Alex. I forgot his last name, but he is so wildly talented, and he just fits Beetlejuice in every way. And so, you know, that's the kind of stuff I want to go to. Of course, there's always the off-Broadway shows that are like one man, one woman shows of some famous actors and actresses. Those are also very much, well, they have me in awe every time I've seen some of these. And there was actually one with Carrie something. She was Daisy in The Great Gatsby in the in the remake. Carey Mulligan. Carey Mulligan is her name. Wonderful, amazing actress. I saw she was doing a one person play that was like 2.5 hours long. It's just herself doing it all. And Vicky and I went to go see it. We were like row 6 because I won like the lottery, so it was like $30 a ticket, which is incredible instead of like $200. Yeah. And we, the whole concept of it was this entire time she's telling us about her life and her kids and her husband, how happy they are. And basically, I can go ahead and spoil it because you can't see it now. But in the end, you find out all of it was in her head. Like, her children had died, and I think she killed her husband because of it. I think her husband suffocated the kids or something. And so she made up this whole story in her mind to cope with the loss. And I'm talking about, it still shocks me today at how powerful it was to see a one person play be able to move the audience in such a way to tears,
Yeah, New York definitely has those. I mean, they have those shows. It'll definitely be an experience for you.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully everything works out good, and which I already booked the flight. I had credit that was expiring that week, so I only spent $30 on the plane.
Oh wow! That's
so
perfect then.
Yeah, so hopefully everything works out good, and in a month from now, I should be in Times Square, eating pizza or something.
Well, you have to post some pictures when you're in Times Square. I just think about like the is that where TRL happened in Times Square?
Yeah.
That's
I
what I
have
think
pictures of the window of TRL previously. I'll have to dig those up, but I've been quite a few times, and I've seen it all. I've seen the Statue of Liberty. I was okay after the first time of seeing the statue in the Empire State, in the Yankee Stadium. I was okay never seeing those things again, but this time a buddy of mine and his son are going. His son's first time, and I believe my friend's second time, but he went when he was a lot younger. So I'm gonna meet them for a day or two to kind of show them around and kind of introduce them to the non-tourist things.
That'll be fun. Yeah, for sure.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yes. Hot dog stands.
Yes.
Okay, so this past weekend was Easter weekend, and I just want to talk a little bit about we had one of our friends tell us about an Ashley Parker Angel cameo. Mm-hmm. And you did it as well as I did. I just want to hear about your experience.
So our friend Mercedes was like, sent us a photo and was like, look, Ashley's doing a cameo for $25. And I was like, oh, $25. And then I read it was 3 minutes of being able to speak to him plus a selfie. And I was like, well, okay then, for $25, and I've always wanted to talk to Ashley, and so I said, let's go ahead and do it. So I went ahead and did it instantaneously, and so basically how it works is we paid $25, and on when was it, Saturday?
I think it was Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, so like Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Time. Ashley comes on the screen, and he and I are just having a FaceTime conversation. And he was one of the coolest and nicest guys ever, because he had kind of asked about what the show is about, because he had kind of knew about the Frick and Frack show, and he was just really, really nice. I was very, very surprised with how down to earth he was, and we talked about me having allergies. I if you look at the photo I posted, I only have one eye open because my allergies are so bad because I was in the country. And so I was like this the whole time, and just sniffling like crazy. And we also talked about crawfish. He said he couldn't get crawfish the way we do because he lives in I think Nevada or Vegas, and So he was unable to get the real true crawfish boil, but he was really cool. He was really awesome. It was a well worth $25 money spent to say I was able to meet him and speak to him for 3 minutes. But what about you?
So that was my first Cameo call ever. I've never done a Cameo call. So like I was messaging you like, how do I get in? Like, how do I know that I'm in? And like, you just got to enter this code. And then like, I found out that I had my Apple, my phone like had set my Cameo messaging to like a secret Apple code. Like if you don't want people to spam you or whatever, like it gets sent to that. Yeah. So I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even have like my email. I can't get into it. Like luckily I took a screenshot of my code. So
yeah.
And it does save it for you. Like for the first time that you try to get in, like it will save it for you. But my kids were trying to do an Easter egg hunt at the time, and we're like in like the middle of nowhere up north Wisconsin trying to get into this like Easter egg hunt. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough service. Like, so we're trying it. And like, so I got in, it was like 1:07 or something like that, like Central Standard Time. And I'm like, so we got in and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And my daughter's hunting for eggs. Like my mom had, my son, her grandson. So she had him like hunting for the eggs, and I'm like, okay, we're good. And then all of a sudden I like X'd out of it on accident. And it was 1:09 p.m. and it said that you had to join like within the first 10 minutes. And I know you had told me that.
Yeah.
That you had to join within the first 10 minutes or you're out. So I'm like quickly like, and then it like the first time that you exit, it makes you enter in your code again. So I had screenshotted it. So I'm entering in the code. I'm like, okay, I made it. Like 1:10 p.m. I made it. So the kids got their eggs. We got in the car. I'm like, I gotta go. So we drive all the way back home. I sit down at the picnic table and get on like just in time. And Ashley comes on and he's like, have you ever done one of these? I'm like, no, this is my first time doing a Cameo or whatever. And he could see the snow in the background because we had just gotten snow. And he's in Vegas, so he's talking about the snow, and I'm talking about like I'd rather be in the warm, and we want to switch, and so there goes the first like 1 minute of our whole Cameo. I had this whole list of like 90s trends that I wanted to ask him, and like about the Frack and Friends show, and I just kind of the time got away on us, and then he's like, most people are like, okay, the picture's coming. You're probably not going to know that it's coming. And I know I sent you like a full photo of us that we got, but like Ashley's like, yeah, the photo's coming, like smile or whatever. And I'm like I just like froze up. And so like I got this picture of me like with my mouth open. So whatever. Ashley looks good, so it's fine. Like Ashley looks good.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely down to earth, and I mean, I hadn't previously met the O-Town guys in Houston and at Sweet Stock in Iowa, and they were all so very pleasant. And I speak to some of them on occasion, and they're still just those same down to earth guys, and so it was really cool to meet the last original member of O-Town because I know Ashley's path had kind of changed course, and he wanted to do some amazing things on Broadway. He was in Wicked, I mean, which is incredible, but he was also in a couple other shows as well. And it's cool to see him, even during the I think 2012 when they reunited. He just had other things going on. He sadly, he didn't rejoin the guys, but everyone has their own path, and respect the dude for doing what he does. I mean, I wish I looked as good as him. Sometimes I look at his Instagram and say, I don't know, maybe I should just like unfollow him because like, the dude is just like everything that I want to look like.
He's got it all going on. Yeah.
He is. And, even today we kind of learned a little bit on Instagram that I didn't know was that like, Ashley had a lot of back problems during Wicked and such. He had injured himself, and which is crazy because I can definitely relate to the back problems part, not Wicked. You know, I did not audition, nor would I ever make Wicked. But yeah, it was really cool though. It was a cool experience. Anyone
It
who
was, yeah.
You know, I know there's a lot of cameos. You pay like $300 and $500 and $1,000, but like opportunities like this that present itself, or you know, because my first original cameo call was with Nikki Blonsky from Hairspray. She was $5 for 5 minutes.
Oh wow!
I mean, you can't beat that. You really can't beat it.
Yeah.
And so for anyone that's kind of like, you know, questioning or second guessing, when an opportunity for an affordable cameo presents itself, especially $25, like that's, you know, if you were to go do a meet and greet with someone, you'd be paying hundreds of dollars for a meet and greet. And that's, the cameo might be even more time than the meet and greets itself. So for anyone second guessing or anything, when an opportunity like this arises, definitely take the time to do a cameo call. It felt very personal, and you know, and it wasn't automated, which I really, really liked. Yeah. It was a genuine conversation between two guys, or a girl and a guy. You know. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, and for anyone that doesn't know what Cameo is, it's an app that you can basically message your favorite celebrities or request a video for them. Sometimes they do, you know, the audio calls that we did this past weekend. Just sign up for their emails and they send you stuff. Like they give you free $1 off if you want to request a video chat. You know, Ashley sent out that thing for the $25. I think it was like a Sunday like meet and greet or whatever it was.
Yeah, and it was coffee, which I don't think he had coffee.
Yeah. You know, he didn't have coffee, but he showed his heart, and that was okay.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, things just come up, and I know that they're adding more. Like I've seen that they're adding like a merchandise shop. So I think that they're going to have like celebrity merchandise and stuff. So it's a great website for people to connect with their favorite celebrities.
And I mean, it's only disappointing. The only disappointing aspect of it is when you click on someone and it's like $1,000 to send. And what they do is for the cameo, when it's not a call, when it's an actual video, they'll you pay whatever amount of money it is, and then they send you a video saying hi. It could range from 10 seconds, 30 seconds, usually less than 30 seconds, and then you pay them that amount of money. So that's the only, because there's quite a few people that would like to kind of get a video for or from, but I don't want to pay $1,000.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I know we talked about that, and I know we said like we were talking about like the Seventh Heaven stars, and like I saw that Mackenzie Rosman has just joined from Seventh Heaven, and Ashley Parker Angel, like he sings you a song on the piano if it's your birthday. So that's totally worth it. And then Eric from O-Town, you know, he's very heartfelt in all of his conversations. You know, Brad from LFO is always heartfelt with everything that he says. Some of them, you know, you pay for the message that you want to send, and if you want to send it from a celebrity, they'll say whatever message that you want. But then there's other ones that actually pay attention to what, I don't know, like what you feel, and they give you more than what you're actually asking for. Definitely. And I mean, all the people you mentioned, you know, they're affordable for the majority of people, and that's a good thing, you know. But I didn't get a cameo from Brad, but I probably should, just to say hi. That was actually that was my first cameo, the first and only cameo that I've ever gotten. My mom bought it for my birthday this past year. Yeah. So I got a cameo from Brad that my mom had paid for my birthday, because she knew that I went to the LFO show and the VIP. And then I did the Ashley Parker Angel cameo call, and that was it. That was it for Cameo. But I love it. I'm hooked. Like it's great.
It gets really, really addicting. I used to love sending them messages, but then I got tired of them taking my money and never replying. Because it used to be like, $3.99, $4.99 in text. It would say like, so and so read it, and they would never reply. And I was like, you know what? I need to stop doing this. Like,
yeah. Well, and for those that don't know, like you can send them a DM. So it's not like you're going through their Instagram. It's going through their Cameo, and you pay for the message. And sometimes it's like, I think Brad's is like $2 or $3.99. And I know Ashley's is like $4.99. But it ranges. Like the celebrity sets their own price. And it even says on there, like they will respond if they have time, or like if they're willing to, but like they'll see your message. They're not always going to reply.
Yep.
But I've had better luck talking to some of my favorite people through the Cameo app than like on Instagram, where it gets lost in all their private messages. And
I've definitely had better luck just talking to them on the show.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of them I'm friends with now, so I can just message them or text them, and that's, a message they will definitely receive and reply, which is really nice, But yeah, guys. So again, Cameo, check it out. Check out the app on Apple iPhones and Androids. You guys will definitely find some cool information on it. So let's go ahead and talk about the DNA tour started up again in Vegas 2 weeks ago. It just ended for the Vegas part, and it's about the transition to the world tour, at least the America's tour. But what was your experience in like seeing all the fans and the clips that were happening on Instagram? Because I've seen a lot of clips, and it's been really incredible.
I mean, it just makes me have like a fear of missing out. Like I had wanted to do the Vegas leg of it, and the flights just got so expensive with gas prices and everything. I mean, flying from Wisconsin to Vegas it was like $800 to $1,000. So, and then that's in addition to the ticket prices. Yeah. So it's crazy. I had a ticket for their November shows, and
me too.
It was cheap, relatively, like for experiencing a show, and like the plane tickets weren't very expensive, so I was ready to go for it. And then instead, like, I got my COVID booster shot, so that was exciting. Like that's what I ended up doing instead of their canceled Vegas tour shows. But the fans have been amazing. I mean, the shows obviously just don't disappoint. It's what everyone expected and more. I mean, I think I saw an article today, like where they did a NSYNC cameo. I didn't read the full article, but
interesting.
I'm interested to see what that's all about. If that was like just for their Vegas show, or if that's going to be something like on their whole DNA tour.
Yeah. And speaking of, let's go ahead and even go a little further back. But Ryan Cabrera, he got married, and he had the dream wedding. And by dream wedding, I mean he had like every person you would want to, you and I personally would want at our weddings. They were there. They were there. The majority of NSYNC members, and you had a majority of O-Town, and including Ashley Parker himself. Who else was there?
Well, I think was it Yellow Card that ended up performing? Man, like some of the performances that I know that Ryan had got for Alexa were like the 2000s highlights of my middle school years. So it was, I mean, all the bands that were there were amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's it was unbelievable seeing everybody all together, literally under one roof, and it seemed like Ryan and his lovely wife enjoyed their day. It was very, I mean, I'm going to remember it forever,
But it was fun that they actually showed it to, the general public that, doesn't always get to see all the fancy weddings that celebrities have. And it was fun to see all the Instagram videos like from behind the scenes of, you know, the NSYNC performing, just
Yeah.
everything. I'm glad that they allowed people to post all that stuff for everyone to see because it was fun. It was like a fun flashback.
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like, especially seeing, let's see, it was Lance, Chris, and Joey. I'm pretty sure it was just those three performing for NSYNC. And that was incredible to watch. You know,
It was, yeah.
I know everybody's just so tired of them teasing, but the guys were at a wedding. You know, when you have three or more members, or even two or more members of NSYNC anywhere, you're expected to do things.
Yeah.
Make some magic, get on that stage.
And they did for sure.
It was really, really fun watching them. And it's, you know, I always think about, you know, how time passes us by to the point of where we don't realize it. You know, like for me, right? 2012 was just 2 years ago, but for the world, they're saying differently.
Yeah.
And so
I hear you.
It's kind of sad because I watch a lot of movies and I'm like, oh, this one came out 2 years ago in 2016. And I have to catch myself because I'm like, man, like it was not 2 years ago. You know?
I know. Yeah. Time just it's terrible.
It is. It's not our friend.
No, it's not. I know. So when you go to New York, did I hear that you're missing the New Kids concert?
Yeah, so that's the sad part. And I mean, I'm sure I can possibly go to another date for New Kids, but it looks like because it's the same day as my flight, my flight's at like 11 a.m. and the New Kids on a Block concert is at 8 p.m. So it does look like I'm going to miss the New Kids on a Block concert, which actually, you know, like Vicky was saying earlier, you've seen New Kids so many times already, you know, and it's okay to miss this one just to go hang out with people in New York City, you know. But I just feel sad because I love them.
But so we were talking about that, like this June is my first New Kids concert, and we were talking about how we both love Backstreet Boys and New Kids, but they have this just it's like a different feel for it. It's not that it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just that it's different. And, you know, I've been thinking about that a lot just since yesterday. I think we were talking about that. And we were trying to figure out, like, how you feel like you're just at, like, a block party with New Kids on the Block. And, like, Backstreet Boys makes you feel like this super strong emotion, but yet it's different from a New Kids concert. And I'm excited to experience that difference.
Yeah, because truthfully, if you think about it, like I grew up on Backstreet Boys. Of course, I knew, you know, Step by Step and I'll Be Loving You Forever and Please Don't Go Girl and, you know, Hanging Tough. I knew those songs, but maybe it's a different feeling from me personally because I grew up with Backstreet Boys from the beginning, or at least it seemed what was the beginning from the time they. Even before they hit radio, really, I knew of the Backstreet Boys. I had their cassette tapes, you know, and maybe that's why it's a different feeling, you know, because it's, I don't know, even like going to see the Jonas Brothers in last October, it was a different kind of feeling. And again, I grew up on the Jonas Brothers, like, you know, they're amazing. It's incredible. They're, you know, they were done for a little bit and they came back and had a #1 album on the charts. I mean, and by the way, if you haven't heard Happiness Begins, it is incredible. The album is just great, but I don't know, for me personally, you know, New Kids, it feels like a block party. There's maybe because there's just so much confetti all the time going off and like they would do a song and then like, I remember the last tour, you had Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, Salt and Pepper. You had, you know, those three groups. And then you had New Kids. And even between the New Kids songs, they would do a couple of songs like, you know, like 8 or 10. And then all of a sudden, stage B over here which it's kind of the same concept again. There's a stage A and stage B. And so stage B, all of a sudden Salt and Pepper would start and they're dancing and it's just like, yeah, it's just so different. And you're going to know it.
It kind of like transcends like so I was born in 89. Were you like 92 or?
Yeah, 92.
Like, yeah. Yeah. So it's like they were kind of later. And so like I know I was talking to my mom and she said, you know, I had a toddler or a baby or whatever. So she's kind of like in that like limbo stage of where she was like sort of listening to New Kids on the Block, but sort of not because she had a toddler and she was running around. That's like I don't know, like it's weird because like I have some of her old shirts. Like this is one of the New Kids shirts that I have, and
that's
so
crazy.
Some of the original ones, and like some of them like span from her day, but yet they go into my day too. Because like I can remember listening to them at middle school dances, and I mean even into high school. Like it kind of goes through the era. So like they were like borderline for me. Like I was born in 89, so they were kind of up and coming during that time. So. Like you said, like Backstreet Boys was like the main band in my years, but I feel like I'm more of like I don't say that I'm more of a new Kids on the Block fan, but like now more now than back in the day because I was just so little.
And truthfully, like in my opinion, truthfully, I think New Kids is just as great as Backstreet, especially when you listen to their music. And then once you go to the concert, you're going to your love for them is going to expand. Like you can't even imagine because their concerts, I mean, they don't put on these, not to rack on anyone, but they don't put on these 20 song concerts.
Well, they're the original boy band. So like they have to perform, like they have it.
Which, like, even like New Edition recently just did a new tour and I think they only did like 20 songs, but like New Kids, the last one that I saw, they did, I think 32. It was 30 or 32 plus Salt and Pepper did, 8 songs plus Debbie Gibson did 5 songs, 6 songs plus Tiffany did 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah.
It is a full night of nostalgia explosion.
And I'm so excited for that. Like it's just different than the whole Backstreet Boys experience. I mean, even just buying the tickets and I guess you can't really fully experience that unless you're like a nostalgic like boy band fan. Like you just know like it just has this different feel and you just feel it. Like you can just feel that it's different. Not better, not worse. It's just different.
And and once you go, you can kind of maybe even explain it better than I can because it's hard. Even like watching the main event because Yahoo did a live stream for it, so it's in like HD quality and everything. But like going back and watching my very first concert, which was the New Kids on the Block main event with Nelly and TLC. I just remember being there in section 311, row 1, and just like scared out of my mind because I'm afraid of heights. So I was at the highest point in the Smoothie King, but just so focused on them because I've never seen anyone perform. And for that to be my first concert, to have 3 people I've loved since I was a child, all in my peripheral, all in my view. And you can watch that one and you can be like, yeah, there's something different about this. And same thing with O-Town, the same thing with, all these, individuals and other bands, there's some concerts that I've been to that felt the same to me, I don't know, it didn't really do it for me, I guess you can say, but the majority of concerts, when it comes down to nostalgia, it's a different, it hits you,
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and I think it would be interesting to see sometime like how the actual performers feel like in all these concerts, like what they think about when they're performing to their fans that have loved them from 1999 or whatever it is. I think it'd be interesting to see what goes through their head as they're performing through all these.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't really dived into on the show yet. And definitely going to have to do that soon with someone because, you know, it's always interesting. I remember like recently there was a person who, I forgot who he was, but he was on the news. He was in the media talking about like method acting. And he was just like, there's no such thing as method acting. That's just ridiculous. But then you have like people like Joaquin Phoenix, who did the Joker, who went to the full extreme. And you would think there's something had to mentally happen to him from becoming that character for him. And then for him to come to these talk shows and say, no, he said, I went home. He said, I took the makeup off and I went home after. There's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy because everyone has a different kind of view on things. And I remember like Jack Nicholson, whenever he had done the Joker, and what it did to him mentally, to
and
where
like The Shining, like you can't. I mean, I don't know. There has to be something, and I know there have been celebrities that have not come out of their their specific characters, so I know it has to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, when Heath Ledger died, you know, Jack Nicholson was the first one everybody wanted a statement from, and the only thing he told reporters was, you know, he told Heath not to do it, not to do the role. I don't know if he's ever elaborated on it, but that's what he had said in the to the paparazzis coming out of a restaurant that same night. And you know, it's incredible what people's mindset is. But then again, you got to think about this. We all have jobs. You know, what is our mindset when we're doing a job? You know, what are we thinking about? And I mean, I'm sure you can ask a dancer, what's on your mind when you're dancing? Not to trip on my own 2 feet.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and then like, I mean, just, it kind of goes back to like, I think about this a lot too, like to not ever meet your own hero.
Yeah.
It's because people are playing roles. Like it's a tough, I don't know. I've met a lot of people that I care about, that I've cared about as a child, and you know, it kind of goes half and half. Like some of them, you're like, oh yeah, they truly are the, you know, the brightness of my childhood or whatever it is. Yeah. Or then the other half is kind of like, oh yeah, I kind of wish that I wouldn't have met them because like in my mind they were, you know, more extravagant than I would have ever thought.
Oh
but,
yeah.
It truly is kind of like that. And I know like with the same probably goes with like paparazzi when people are taking pictures. Like obviously that's not like their best frame of mind. Like you don't want to take a picture of somebody when they have like their 2-year-old in front of them and they're trying to protect them. Like then they're in like their mom mode, and I can feel that. So it's tough. Like it's a tough balance of celebrityness and just being in your own frame of mind and
just being human.
Yeah.
You know, just being human. And I mean, when it comes down to meeting your heroes, you know, the majority, I've had good experiences, but I've had some terrible experiences. So bad that it turned me away from like paying to meet people at conventions anymore, you know, and it's terrible. But then again, you know, sadly, those people are there. They're there to meet fans and make a whole lot of money. But like, you know, at the same time, that one time they slip up and they say hurtful words, or they just turn away from you or something, it kind of, it's just off-putting in a lot of ways. So, you know, I'm pretty good at not meeting my heroes, but the people we've had on the show have been just heroic in a lot of ways to you and I, and it's so far they haven't disappointed us.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, for sure. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about with the show that you're able to talk about?
No, I'm going to be filming tomorrow with one of someone who I call legendary, who has meant a lot to me because I started watching him in the 90s and then continue watching him. I just watched one of his newest films the other day. But no, I was supposed to go to Texas Frightmare weekend, but next week, but I don't think that's going to be happening because the schedules of everything is shifting and everything. And so I really can't like say much of anything when it comes down to the guests, but we'll be doing these episodes and we'll also be doing celebrity shows pretty much weekly. What I do want to start getting guest fans of boy bands of 90s, of 2000s. We've been in contact with a bit of them and just talking to them about coming on the show and kind of share their experiences, of living in the 90s and thousands. And
I'm always up for fashion and trends and 90s trends. And
we can pull somebody else who knows about all that because I'm useless when it comes down to talking about fashion. Like I said, I only know Fruity Loom. Is that the shirt?
Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I only know Walmart material, and
we're gonna get some more people on the show who know about the trends, the fashion.
I mean, right now, another thing we're
the facts though, so that's all that matters.
I do because like right now, I'm beginning to learn about things and so I'm getting educated. So we'll get some more people to talk about trends, and that way I can learn.
And that's
a lot
what I'm
more.
here for.
Exactly.
You're here for the facts. I'm here for the fashion. Like
that's fine. And it works. The dynamic duo works. But,
yes.
We'll definitely get some people on. We could say boy band Stacy would be a great one to have. She's really
for
sweet.
Sure. Yeah.
I've spoken to her a few times, and we've got different people from like radio who love the 90s and 2000s, and we just have fans. We have fans of the show and people who are just like, I love to come on and talk about, because everyone's experience is different of living in this day of age. And
we'd love to hear anybody's trends that they loved or bands or anything from the 90s and 2000s that they just want to talk about, because that's what we're here for.
Exactly. So like definitely keep an eye and look out for the announcements of that. We're going to start getting on different people like like guests who are just part of the Frack and Friend show, or just, part of the 90s and 2000s deal. So that's going to be happening soon. We're going to start getting, because there's a long list. I hate to say that, but there's a long list to clear. And every day I'm like, come on a show, absolutely. And so it just keeps, adding up. But thanks for thanks for supporting, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to the show, guys. It really means a lot to us, and we're having a good old time. We're having a good old time, and time has already passed us, very, very quickly, even for this episode.
Yeah. So if anyone has any suggestions, feel free to send a message, and we'll try to get a celebrity that you want or talk about a trend. We're always looking for Thursday throwback trends too, because I love looking back and diving deeper into the 90s and 2000s trends for fashion. Most
definitely. And it's all about having fun. It's all about having a great time. And we definitely look forward to talking about trends. And I need to do some more research. And you need to like just every episode have like a shirt or some kind of trend.
Oh wait, we got the new kids.
One?
We got the new kids.
Oh man,
wait, is it showing up? It's not.
It
not
shows...
showing up because of the background. But wait, there it is.
A lot of people are probably convinced that's your house too.
I know. I wish that was my house. That's not my house.
It's like if you walk back
Someday.
there, you probably
Someday
disappear.
that'll be my house.
But no, for real.
Boy band shirts, and we'll touch on whatever
Yeah.
trend that anyone wants. So
Yeah, I mean, bring a a jacket or a shirt, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the history of that shirt, and we'll start doing that kind of stuff. Though that'll be a lot of fun, and that's the way to educate myself and others.
Yeah, we'll get you educated on all these 90s, 2000s fashion trends.
Yes, because
you'll never want to look back.
I don't know much about anything, so this is really exciting. So, guys, this is the Frack and Friends Show, episode 4, and you guys have a great week.